All right, guys, just go ahead and give me 1 second here. I don't even know if anybody's in the room yet, but if there is, just give me 1 second, getting my screen set up. All right. All right, hold on a second. Ow, son of a bitch. All right. All right, guys, we're going to get started in just a second here. In my office, it's always 4:20, so salute to that. All right. I am over caffeinated and extremely tired. I was up late last night because of all the price action. So welcome, everybody. Those of you that are here from the Elevate Trading Group, welcome. Those of you that are here from, what's the other Discord? Flying Cat Signals, welcome. Those of you that are here from Twitter, Telegram, also welcome. Thank you very much for coming today. Today, I'm just going to go over the charts a little bit more in depth later on after I take a look at Bitcoin for a couple minutes. I'll go ahead, maybe start taking some requests for other altcoins and stuff like that. But in general, the altcoins right now, they're either leveling off for the most part or they're not doing so great. So we're going to do that right now. Yes, we're going to do live technical analysis on Bitcoin. I actually have not looked at the charts today at all. Okay. I just got home. Tuesdays and Thursdays, my daughter goes to daycare. I actually got a flat tire on the way back, so I was dealing with that. When I got home, I still haven't even eaten lunch. I'm just extremely tired from last night, very over caffeinated. So let's switch over to the charts real quick. Boom, there I am. All right. So guys, feel free, if you guys are here for any of the Discords or anything like that, I know there's a slight delay with the video, but if there's anybody here from any of the Discords or my Telegram, just make sure that you guys are all using the YouTube chat. I'm not going to be able to monitor like 5 different things for messages all at the same time. It's just too much. And then I don't focus on the charts. So if you guys have questions, comments, or anything like that, once I move into altcoins, I'll do a couple altcoin requests. And just a note here at the beginning of the stream, altcoin requests, keep them for like good coins, you know, like Link, Sol, any of the Sam coins and stuff like that, BNB or whatever, like major coins. Don't give me shit coins to chart. I'm just going to ignore it. And please don't give me a list. Like keep it to 1 coin a person. People have been doing that a lot to me lately. I'm like, I'm going to take altcoin requests. And then I get like one person will put like 8 freaking things of coins to chart and half of them are garbage. Please try not to do that. Go easy on me. Okay. I do it for free. Like Bill Shen just said, FTM. That's awesome. You know, like once I get to the alts FTM, yeah, I'm probably going to end up getting to that, but hold off on the requests for now. Let's dive into Bitcoin. Like I said, this is the first time excuse me, that I've actually looked at the charts today. Okay. I haven't looked at anything since last night. I'm not in any open positions right now. And looking at this daily chart, I'm kind of glad I'm not. The daily chart, especially, it's looking weak here. We've got increasing bearish volume. We had, looks like a spinning top, bullish hammer to try and stay in this channel here. broke down with a very strong bearish candle, no wick to the downside, just a straight up bearish bar. And now this daily candle, we still got 8 hours left, so it's a little more than halfway through. It's about 2/3 through, but still right now not looking too great. If this closes as a spinning top or some kind of doji, I might consider moving maybe up to even half of the assets that I have on exchanges into cash, like the stuff that I trade with. Now, I get the question all the time of like, why would you do that? Why would you move your Bitcoin to cash? Why not just hold? The main reason is when you trade futures, there's different pairings that you can trade, right? Some of them are coin margined and some of them are USD or, like fiat margin. So like USDT, USD coin and stuff like that. The reason why I like to move to cash is because if the market is starting to flip over on the high time frames, you can preserve your Bitcoin that you have and the value of that by moving that into cash, take half of your profits. And then what you can do is you can just hold the rest of your Bitcoin, but now you can use that USDT or that USDC or whatever it's paired against, the stable coin that you moved into, and you can just be using that to short instead. So you're still gaining USDT value. You're not gaining Bitcoin by doing that, but at least it still lets you trade the markets, make some profits and stuff like that. And then when it does go lower and you're looking for spot buys, you can actually use those profits to then further ladder in and lower your dollar cost average. That's a strategy that I like to use. I'm personally more comfortable in bear markets. I'll tell you that right now. I love trading the bear markets mostly because there's no noise. Now, by saying all of this, I'm not saying that, we're absolutely going to turn bearish right now. Okay. I mentioned this yesterday. There's some other people on Twitter that were going over this as well, where it's like, okay, we've got this huge ascending channel here, right? There's nothing that says that this bottom channel line can't get violated, and we do something like this. That's absolutely possible. Okay. I'm not ruling something like this out. This could absolutely be a throw over of the wedge and the ascending channel, and we could just pop right back up in here. Or if we did that, it would probably look something like this. That would be an extremely strong up move coming from 54. That's all the way up to 88K. So that's quite a bit. Let me finish my coffee. Let me grab a thing of water real quick. All right. Cotton mouth from the oil. You guys know how it goes. All right. Anyway, so we could totally just be experiencing some kind of throw over. This microphone is really all up in my grill right now. There you go. If that messed with the audio, let me know if you can't hear me or something. It should be fine. But let's see. Can you check out Cody? Yeah, I'll get to your altcoins in just a little bit. But yes, exactly. Someone else mentioned the Bitcoin dominance chart. I'm going to take a look at that here in a second too. But let's start with these high time frames first and then start getting more into the fundamental stuff, right? I want to do more in depth of what we really see is happening here. And one of the websites that I should... Sorry, there was like a bug or something. Let me bring up bybt.com. I'm going to get more into this later, but I just want to bring this up for now. Grayscale. And we're going to talk about this chart here. Okay. Pretty soon we're going to talk about this chart. Very important shit is going to be happening up until July. Okay. About, the end of, this quarter and the beginning of next quarter. So we'll get into what all of this stuff is on this website. We'll get into this just here in a little bit. As well as liquidation levels and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about open interest and all of that good stuff. But for right now, this overall trend right here, breaking down from this could absolutely be a throw over. That would be kind of the perfect storm for bulls and big market makers, institutions and stuff to be trapping all of these retail and derivatives traders and stuff to just be buying the hell out of this and then just rocket it and liquidate all of retail and stuff and come out on top, obviously, since they bought so low. And that's why I'm not ruling out a situation where this could be some kind of a throw over. Okay. That's absolutely possible. Some people were mentioning this on Twitter. Props to those that were. I know that Jack was, BTC Jack Sparrow, whatever his name is, really good chartist. He mentioned this. BitBit, I think, mentioned this as well. And I'm really happy that a lot of some of the other more serious traders that are on, Twitter and stuff, I'm glad that they were pointing this out and giving both scenarios. I was getting really frustrated this week with a lot of big accounts. They don't do that. They just shill everything. It drives me nuts. It's very irresponsible when you have like a 250,000 people following you. Just buy the dip. Well, what happens when it keeps dipping? And now all those people that were looking to you for sound advice or like they thought that you were more into education. Now what happens when they lost all their money because you just kept saying the same bullshit over and over? Once the markets flip over, especially when you get such a drastic downside move like this, that's not really the kind of thing that you want to be advising to a large group of people like that. Anyhow, we all know that this pennant was here. Let me turn this off. We all know that this pennant was here. Okay. If you don't move your trend lines, which is something that I do not recommend doing, once you had these drawn, they're drawn, like these are the wicks you used to draw it. Don't change, don't start doing these, you know what I mean? Is something like this possible? Yes, but this is what your bias was. This is how you chose to draw it. Okay. Because we were making higher lows. This was a higher low. When this broke, that violates this. So this pattern was invalidated. And now we're closing back up above this trend line. So this trend line down here is still very important. Okay. Like, let's not start discounting things like that. The first thing that I would want to see here, currently on this 4-hour chart, we're testing this bottom trend line. Okay, this is something that I want to see hold. Okay, obviously we need this to hold. Let's look at some of our indicators, right? I've got just basic indicators up here. It looks like our MACD, looks like the bearish volume might be dropping off, obviously, because we've been seeing a big bullish bounce here, especially with this wick. And I will get into the nonsense, by the way, that happened with Coinbase here in a second. We are going to take a look at that. Okay. But overall here, very, very low volume. Okay. Compared to, everything back here, this low volume in general, right? We're below the 0 mark, the threshold on our MACD, and we're staying in the bottom half of our RSI here. So, once we hit this top and we broke back down below the 56 mark, this right here, this basically up here, these candles, this was a red flag here that maybe the trend started, flipping over. Now, I didn't have strong enough hands. I'm not going to lie. I didn't have strong enough hands to hold a short from up here. I really didn't. And, if you go back and you just replay this, look at these supports that you're coming up to here. Okay. All in here. That's why I was kind of awkward about holding a short from way up here, and I didn't. So that kind of, it is what it is. I kind of wish I would have gotten into one up here, but we need to see this bottom trend line on this pennant hold. Basically, summing up is what this is here, right here. 1 hour chart. Again, indicators are pretty much going flat up here. At least the MACD is in bullish territory. But it did just cross again. So this is basically our test of this trend line. I think that if this trend line fails again and we close below this on any time frame, 1 hour up, it's probably not going to be very good for us, especially if we see like a 4-hour close. I don't think that's going to happen in the next 20 minutes. We'll probably still be streaming in 20 minutes, but we're going to keep an eye on this. Okay. So that's the first thing I want to look at. Now let's take a look at Ichimoku Cloud and all of our, Ichimoku Cloud moving averages and stuff like that. So these are exponential moving averages. There was like a debate on Twitter about exponential and regular moving averages. They're just calculated a little differently. When I scalp, I tend to use the exponential moving averages because they're a little more reactive. Okay. Obviously the standard MA is, that's just the standard. And we are below those. Now, in my Telegram group last night, I was really concerned about this candle, not only closing below the 50 MA, but also closing below our Kijun line here. I was not expecting a massive candle like that. I don't think any of us were, especially after we've already had this drop here and we were resting there. The fact that this broke and we actually just tested this bearishly so far, I'm starting to lose confidence a little bit in the longevity of this uptrend. One of the reasons why, and in my last analysis video, I think I showed this, is, let me see, I think it's this tool. Okay, so this was a 5.85% different from top to top, okay? The next all-time high was only basically 6% higher. Over here, it was 5% higher. And obviously from this one, you know, I don't even know, it was like 30% or 20% or something. 40%, 39%. So our tops were getting, you know, we were getting all-time highs, but the percentage difference in how high the high that we got was getting a lot smaller. So this would need some serious momentum coming from the bulls in order to be breaking back above this major resistance level, breaking back into this this pennant here. And honestly, unless a large amount of retail investors come in, creating a lot of volume, because it needs to be organic volume, not like leveraged positions from derivatives traders, right? It needs to be real volume, spot buys, retail investors, maybe hedge funds coming in. Unless we see another wave of that, you know, I'm starting to lose confidence in this, but I'm not ruling out the fact that this could definitely be a throw over. So if we come down to a smaller time frame on the 1 hour chart, we've broken down through a lot of things here. We are rejecting off of our 50 EMA on the 1 hour, so that's not good. 200 EMA is really far off at this point. You know, up around almost the 58K area where our trend lines are, top of the cloud here. So these are all very major levels that go back for quite some time. Okay. And what I've been watching is that, you know, right here, especially on this 1 hour chart, we have to be really careful. We're actually using the Kijun line as support right now, as well as this major, you know, support box, screen box that I've had drawn for forever. So it just looks weak to me here. It's not looking good. Like I understand the want for Bitcoin to just like completely rally up from here, but we've got to take a more realistic approach to what's happening with this price action, especially on a large time frame. Scalping this isn't a bad idea. I mean, I made money all day yesterday and last night scalping this. I made pretty good money off of it. But in general, that's more of a high risk thing to do. And I think one of the better aspects of looking at this right now is deciding, you know, once the price action decides what's going to happen here with this bottom pennant, from there, that's when we can start basing decisions off of like, okay, what's happening on the 4 hour? Does it have strength? Did volume come in? And if it's still looking like trash, like this, then I'm not going to have very much confidence. And I'm going to start considering moving, you know, stuff into USDT, tethering out and looking for shorts, both coin margined and USDT margined. So over here, we've got our open interest rising. That's good. Prices coming down as our open interest is generally continuing to move up higher. But again, the volume here, it just kind of sucks. It looks like we're just getting a solid retest right now of this area right in here. If we're just taking a look at price action, okay? We'll make this green real quick. And I don't want to ramble on too much about this. I know I have a habit of doing that. So somebody yell at me in the chat if I start rambling too much. Like, Kobra, get your shit together. All right, let's take a look over at the liquidation levels, right? Let's keep this down, this 15-minute chart. Let's keep this down to a 15-minute chart and just kind of get a better idea of what's happening with our liquidation levels. So this is highblockcapital.com. There's a link or there should be a link down in the description below if you guys want to check this website out. This isn't the only tool that they have. There are a whole bunch. And I might actually get into one of these other ones later on. But this is the Binance liquidation chart here. And it's looking like, if we zoom in, this is pretty much the situation that we got. So up until around the 52.5 mark or so, we're just kind of peppered with some 25 and 50x liquidations. There's a couple 100s in here. This one got taken out. We've got one for 35 million here, and those are kind of peppered down to about 52-ish, like where this huge block of liquidations are. If you're trying to long right now, you do not want your stop loss in this area. If you're trying to long this, you should probably be trying to do it on higher timeframes with way less leverage and, just very, very good risk management, small size. If the trend is flipped over and you're trying to long against the trend, which is bearish right now and has been for the whole week, it might not work out so well for you. And this is what you're going to want to avoid, is having a stop loss in this area. Price tends to move towards where the liquidity is. The fact that we do have some longs down here to be liquidating peppered through here, we could maybe see a move lower, one more to maybe wipe these out. But if that happens, in general, it's going to be pretty bearish. I guarantee you everyone's going to be shorting the breakdown of that pennant and stuff like that. So that's kind of where we stand with these liquidations. If we take it up to the max tier and look for where the whales liquidations are, there's nothing around us. No one's trying to trade this right now. Or at least be scalping with, this is only a $2,000 range right here, but there isn't really anything super huge in either direction. 53.37K, 62 million. Up here, 40 million at 55.4. So not too bad. Just I like to keep an eye on these because this is very important. I avoid putting stop losses, obviously, in huge liquidity pools like this. Okay. Let's move over and take a look at the dominance chart now and kind of get an idea for what's going on there. Let's take this off. And dominance chart. Oh, wow. That looks like hot garbage. Oh, that's disappointing. So this is probably the lowest that I have seen. Let's go up to a weekly. Holy shit. Okay. Well, bad news, guys. That's kind of bad news bears. So this is what happened in 2017. And this is what's starting to happen now. So maybe we're here in this cycle. Maybe. Maybe we get a pop. But if we do see something like that, obviously that would be like completely disastrous. I don't think that we would ever be going that low again, but certainly dipping down to where we are now at the 50 mark. This is kind of like, this black line, the support line I have here at 49.5. Yeah, it's kind of like the last line of defense. After that, it's not going to be good. We could see a potential capitulation event or something. So this is something I've been watching very closely as this keeps getting lower and lower. Obviously, the Bitcoin price has been moving lower and lower. Alternate to Ethereum, which has just been absolutely going crazy. Ethereum's been taken off like nuts, and Bitcoin has just been, dying and going flat. So that kind of actually shows me, that's another thing I want to bring up is Ethereum. It looks like it's kind of decoupling from Bitcoin here. I mean, this normally the charts like kind of look almost exactly the same. There's nothing similar about this 1 hour chart and this Bitcoin 1 hour chart to me. Like those are definitely completely different charts. There's no arguing that point. I really do feel like maybe Ethereum is decoupling from Bitcoin here. And I think that's possible. Getting into something a little more fundamental is, you've got the entire DeFi space and all of the hype surrounded around that. And there is institutional money starting to come into decentralized finance and things of that nature. And that's why I think we're seeing what we're seeing here in this just major difference in price action between Ethereum and what we have going on here with Bitcoin. I was in a short in the Telegram group. Link is down in the description below if you guys want to check that out. I wasn't a long here, and I think I got spooked by this wick. Plus, it was kind of late, and I ended up exiting here. Targets got met for this though, and this thing has just been rocketing. So keep Elliott Wave in mind for this. Those of you that don't know what that is, there should also be a link down in the description. You can get a free e-copy of this book. Let me switch my camera. You get a free copy of this book down there in the description below. I also have a digital copy of this, not the official one from the link, but another one in my own private Google Drive, if you guys are interested in that. Anyway, no, this video is not sponsored. That's just like the Bible for Elliott Wave stuff. So you can get a free copy of it. Anyway, keep in mind Elliott Wave theory here. 1, 2. This looks like a really short for a 3 here. Okay, this looks really short. 3 is not supposed to be the shortest wave. So there's a couple things that could be going on here that this is just one massive wave 1. In that kind of scenario, that would be Bitcoin kind of recovering because it doesn't look like Ethereum is helping Bitcoin too much. Not really that much here in terms of price action. But back to this dominance chart, this is not looking good here at all. I think it was back here. Here on this layout. The Bitcoin dominance looks really, really terrible here, guys. It's not looking good. I mean, I would be expecting some kind of bounce here to respect, like the 50 area, maybe. Before when we saw something like this, we had really big wicks here, and at least we had some kind of recovery and, like a dead cat bounce before, it completely tanked. So that would be one thing to be looking for. Alts are probably running, or they're starting to, maybe. Let's take a look. What's Algo doing? Let's turn the time frames down here. So it's been respecting our major support line down here that I've had drawn. Again, this price action just kind of mimics what Bitcoin is doing. Maybe it can recover from this. What's Atom doing? Atom's doing well. Atom's more paired with Ethereum, so this one's taking off. It just broke back above a major level of resistance here. What's Link doing? Link looks fantastic right now, at least. Next resistance is about $42, somewhere in here. I'll just draw a line. Boop. That's where your resistance is. Let me read these chats. Hi, seems like alt season's going to start. Alt season, let me tell you what. Alt season's been going on. Okay, like if you look at any of these alts, this is so weird to me that people are like, oh, when is alt season? I don't know what the hell alts you guys have been trading. I mean, look at this. What do you mean alt season is starting? I mean, look at Link. Look at the entire history of Link. Link does nothing but go up. This has been alt season. Since the beginning of 2020, after this crash, it's been nothing but bull the entire time, just like Bitcoin. Except Link just looks better, and this daily candle looks fantastic. Link, if this closes as a really big bullish engulfing like this, that might be good to be laddering buys. Down up in here, be looking for retests and laddering in on that. Loom, it's going to be testing support down in here. Let's see. Kobra, you and Emperor must be one of the few for real. I wish you only good and many thanks for your work. Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate that. Later on, once I get my AdSense account up, that's another thing. You guys know that I do this for free. I never ask for money or anything, but I do have the ability to now add super chats, which I am going to do. I'll probably do that later on as these live streams start getting really big, because obviously in one stream, I won't be able to do like 1 million alt requests. So once these streams start getting like, 100 viewers, 500 viewers and stuff like that, I'll probably, put that in there as like a tipping system or something. let's see. Let's look at Sol. Has been doing nothing but taking off. I mean, a lot of these, especially on the daily chart, are just looking absolutely fantastic. Now, one thing here to look out for, I know a lot of you guys are in this. Keep an eye on this up here. Everyone keeps saying bearish divergence is a meme, but it's not a meme. I trade off of this all the time. I mean, this is a very basic technique. Keep your eye on this, okay? Just where these lines are here. Keep an eye out for any bearish divergence here on this move, okay? Remember, in general, you want to be taking profits on rips like these, you know, okay? Like when you see this chop, that's when you want to be accumulating on spot or whatever you're doing. And when you see huge moves like this, it's like, you know, take profit, take profit, take profit, buy more. Take profit, you know, that's kind of how it goes in a bull market. You buy when it's flat and you buy the dips and then, you know, you sell the rips. It's a pretty standard procedure here. So this is looking pretty good as well. Some of these alts are actually looking pretty good here. Like they might be primed for another run up. But again, a lot of this is going to depend on, you know, what happens with, the dominance chart and stuff like that. Like how low is Bitcoin going to go right now? Like, are we going to see some crazy dead cat bounce where we shoot up to like 55, 57K and it just takes all the alts with it and alts get another pop or whatever? Who knows? But that would be like the prime scenario. BTC looked like an ending diagonal top and broke down. Yeah, I was watching that for some time. You're totally right about that. I'm probably going to butcher your name. I think it's Gassan. You are totally right about that. Yeah, the Bitcoin dominance just looks so bad. Another thing too is, you know, you have to remember on these higher time frames on this weekly chart. You know, look at how long the open interest, you know, has been just like super green. That's what these bars are. I mean, it's just been like crazy. And as that's happening, the price has been going down. So if this ends up doing some kind of like full retrace, it probably would not be good. We'll have to wait and see. This is just starting to make me quite nervous here. Okay, quite nervous. You know, when you take a look at Bitcoin and you see that, obviously we'll turn log scale on. But even with log scale, I mean, just we didn't have barely no green candles or red candles through this whole thing up here. So I'm starting to get a little nervous. Somebody wanted me to look at Coty. I don't even know what that is, but I will take a look at it. Binance. Let's take a look at that 1 hour chart. Let me actually do it on here. And yeah, you guys see me switching constantly between different layouts. I use different layouts because I'm not going to pay friggin' a ridiculous amount of money for TradingView since I'm thinking about switching platforms. And I think the package I have, I can only have like 4 or something. Like they don't give you 5, they give you 4. It's kind of stupid. Anyway, let's start with a high time frame first. Let's look at the daily. This looks like a bull flag, straight up. Yeah, that just looks like a straight up ascending channel here. Or a descending channel, excuse me. Okay, something like this. Yeah. Looks about right to me. This thing has had a pretty massive bull run. This looks pretty heavily correlated to Bitcoin, actually, but the downside moves aren't as drastic on this. It's not uncorrelated from Bitcoin, but it looks pretty decent. The RSI is pretty low. MACD is bearish. Wow, there's been nothing but bearish volume on this. This is profit taking here, up here. This is profit taking. 4-hour charts. Let's get some supports drawn, right? We're sitting on major support right now, as evidenced by all these other wicks here. So that's a pretty major support. Looks like we've got resistance here. Resistance here. That was all-time high. Another major support here. Okay. So this looks like we've just entered a range here. Obviously using a support level here and having some kind of a bounce, which is good. This overall trend, if we measure this, you just tap the golden pocket. That's of this overall trend. That was like perfect to the T. So anybody that is watching or that wanted me to chart this, that's a huge algo target, hitting that 168 right here and then popping up. That was a major bounce. If you caught that, really good eye. That's why I really always like to measure with fibs. There's a lot of algo traders, bot traders, and stuff like that. Those things are all using math, right? For all of their calculations, they're using math. And Fibonacci numbers, it's literally math. The mathematical levels of support and resistance. So always really good to look for those. Now, if we were looking for top side off this, buying this support, maybe not a bad idea for a small purchase. Maybe get some ladders in here or like spot buys or something. But this would be my first target up here, is tapping, it looks like tapping this resistance up here about the 0.5. So about 42 cents, maybe a 10 cent, another pop. And that looks like that would probably be like some kind of 3-wave correction. A lot of messages coming in. That's awesome that there's a good amount of people viewing this today. Let's see here. What do you think about BNB? Yeah, the volume on this is looking weak. 4-hour close. Please take a look at Bitcoin. Yeah, I'll go back and look at Bitcoin for just a second. I don't want to keep the stream going super long. Let's see. It's been 41 minutes, so I want to keep it to about an hour. So let's actually do that though. I'm not worried about that 4-hour close. I mean, it's a spinning top. That just means that you have to wait for confirmation. So, we have to wait and see how this next 4-hour candle plays. When you see huge spinning tops and dojis and huge wicks and price action like that, you have to wait for confirmation. That's why, like I wasn't taking, a lot of these trades. We had two bearish, look at this up here. We had two bearish hammers close back to back, but then the price nuked. When you start seeing these things, that's why candlesticks are kind of important, but it's also a downside because you've got like a million, billions of other people looking at these same exact candlesticks. But I'm not really super worried about that 4-hour candle close. I'm more concerned about this next 4-hour candle and what happens there. What kind of volume are we going to be seeing coming into this market later on throughout the day? It is coming into the weekend. That's what happened last weekend, was this initial drop. So, is Asia going to be just continuously just hammering us during the weekends now? Are they profit taking or miners pulling profits? We're just going to have to wait and see, honestly. Keep your eyes on the liquidation charts and stuff like that. I want to talk about grayscale for a minute here. Okay. And the reason why I want to do that is, if you guys don't know what grayscale is, I'm not going to spend 20, 30 minutes explaining how grayscale works. Grayscale is a trust, okay? So what that means is you can buy assets and securities, whatever, Obviously, they do digital currencies, and you can buy them at a premium, and they're locked. It's basically like staking or whatever. They're locked in a trust, and then they get released to you, just like a trust fund for your kid or whatever. That's how a trust works. But those aren't even that much. This is what I want you guys to take note of. And I saw some people on Twitter posting this. This is very important. This is the amount of Bitcoins that get unlocked on a chart and what the dates are that they get unlocked. So basically, if you bought into Grayscale Trust, and you're talking major liquidity here, obviously, if you're talking about 4,000 Bitcoin, 10,000 Bitcoin, okay. This is all going to start very quickly here over the next month or two until late June. We get a break, and then there's some in July, a massive one in July. If you locked this much Bitcoin in, now I don't know when initially these were getting locked, but I'm pretty sure that they were for 6 months and a year and stuff like that. I don't know about you, but if I was getting 10,000 Bitcoins released to me that had accrued something like 120, 150% in value, you bet your ass I'm taking profit. Okay, well, what's going to happen? All of that is going to flood onto exchanges. And that's what I wanted to kind of get into is these are dates that we have to be very careful of. So this one is on the 25th. When's the 25th? The 25th is a Sunday. What do you know? Look at what happened on Sunday. Okay, this was Sunday last week. That's why I'm getting really nervous here, especially when I see things like this. And, every couple days, it's just, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we get a break. Wednesday, it tanks. That's, again, look at what happened yesterday, right? We get a break or whatever. Then on the 4th, another huge release. The 4th is a Tuesday. So these are days that I need to be cautious, right, in the markets, because if people are selling these and they're putting this supply onto the exchanges, the supply has been going way, 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 way down, right? Because retail is buying all of that stuff. This is the fundamental part of the stream, right? People keep buying Bitcoin, right? There's a finite supply of it. There will only ever be 21 million of them. And the supply that the exchanges has keeps going down and down and down and down and down, right? This is supply getting released back into the market, okay? And in major amounts, 4,000, 5,000, 7,000, 7,300, almost 10,500. These are huge amounts of Bitcoin getting released back onto the market. So this website is bybt.com/grayscale. Very, very important stuff here. You can see all of the investors and all the companies and stuff like that. Okay, everything, it's all here. Treasuries, okay, MicroStrategy right there at the top. They hold 6.1 million, 100,000 billion, sorry. That's the market cap for here for MicroStrategy. Wow, this is how many Bitcoin MicroStrategy owns. Okay, so just to give you an idea of that value, this is big. Okay, Tesla right up there with MicroStrategy, Square. These are important numbers. These are important things to be just kind of monitoring. Okay, and you can click this link here, and it it might not on mine because of my ad blocker. But these links will take you to SEC filings and stuff like that. Really cool website. If we look at the open interest for futures right now, that's what all of this is. Okay, this website is awesome. They give you a lot of really, really cool information, liquidations, all of that good stuff. So looks like in the last 24 hours, we had almost 1 billion people get wrecked. That was huge liquidations last night. And that brings me back to this Coinbase chart and the fuckery that happened. On the 4-hour chart, you can't really see it. On the 1-hour chart, you also can't really see it. I don't know what the hell is going on with all these lines here. On the 15-minute chart, you still can't really see it. 5-minute chart, now you see this and it starts raising an eyebrow, right? This starts raising eyebrows. Okay. Come down to a 3 minute, you get some more of these wicks. Well, looking at a 1 minute chart and you zoom in here and you see this shit. Okay. This is abnormal. Okay. You can look at the rest of the chart. You don't see shit like that. Okay. Except for sometimes, right? Like one wick. Okay. Not like the, I mean, look at the size of these wicks, right? 52,000 all the way down to, it's a 1,500. These are $1,500 wicks on the 1 minute chart. This is abnormal price action. I've seen Coinbase do sketchy shit like this before, or sketchy shit happen on Coinbase like this before. And this wrecked a lot of people. This took a shit ton of liquidity out of the market because a lot of the derivatives exchanges have their price calculated, and Coinbase is a part of that calculation. So when this happened, this liquidated a shit ton of people. This was a major market move here. That was when we got that really big nuke last night. Okay. Price recovered almost immediately. So I still haven't really been able to figure out what this is. I don't know if this is a market maker taking profits, because Coinbase does not allow you to short. Okay. There's no leverage on Coinbase. Not that I'm aware of, but I haven't traded on it in freaking 4 years. So this is either a major market maker taking profits, and whoever it was obviously didn't know or didn't care about slippage, because I guarantee you the slippage on those orders was massive. It was major orders. There was a lot of size coming into the market that caused that. So that's really important. These are all things that we need to be taking note of. Okay. And if we take a look at the funding rates, this is pretty much what we got right there. So over the major exchanges, these are the funding rates right now. OKEX green, everything else pretty. It's all right. I mean, it's not crazy. We've obviously seen worse, so the funding isn't actually that bad. Longs and shorts. Okay, just kind of measuring that. Obviously, there's more short sells. People think that price is going to be going down. Apparently, except for Femex, everyone's long on Femex. Who knows what that's about? Bifinex doesn't show you anymore. And order book. Let's look at Bitcoin. So when I talk about global order books, a lot of people think that order book trading and using that to base trade decisions off is a meme. It's absolutely not, especially when you're using some kind of tool like this, or you're using this tool right here. Okay, and you're looking at all of the major derivatives order books. Okay. All of the exchanges, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. There's only 3 or 4 here. So normally I use the other one, but I find this to be a little more reactive here. I like to sort this by 100 and kind of really see where all of the liquidity is. And these are really good tools. Okay. Especially for free. But anyway, taking a look at order books, definitely not a meme. This is what a lot of people are using to be basing their scalp decisions off of. I highly recommend incorporating this or something like this, and really looking at, where is the liquidity coming from? What exchanges are they coming from? Bybit, you'll always see Bybit right around the price. I think this is bots. All of those big orders, I think those are bots and algos. Which is why a lot, like on FTX's website, when you go to is it leaderboard or volume monitor? Yeah, volume monitor. When you come here on FTX, you'll note that there's some stars here next to Bybit. What that means is it says SBF Alamida's definition of that is website test results vary, sometimes clean, sometimes fake. given an intermediate grade. So Bybit spoofs a lot of volume, apparently, is basically what that tells me. So watch out for things like that, but you will always see Bybit hovered around the price. Okay. That's kind of a thing. There's a lot of tools like this. I mean, I can, go into how to use all of these things that I use, but this isn't really a tutorial. Okay. Obviously there's more cells stacking the order books right now. There haven't been any big, super huge recent like orders or whatever, but this is iceberg orders. These are all the kind of tools that I use to kind of like monitor, like where are the whales going? How are they stacking their orders? How are they playing the order books? What price levels do I want to avoid, for stop losses and stuff like that using this. There's a lot of tools that I use. Again, most of the links for all this stuff is in the description below. So I think unless you guys want to see a couple more altcoins, I could do maybe one or two more real quickly. But other than that, that pretty much concludes the stream. I really wanted to get on during, right before like a 4-hour candle close, so we could kind of get a better idea for what's happening here. But staying above this Kijinsen line is a must if we want to have any chance here on Bitcoin recovering. We have to hold the Kijin, and very, very quickly, like before the end of the week, we have to close above this 50 EMA line, which is making me nervous. I will take a look at XTZ. I thought I had it on here. Maybe it's on my other layout. Whoops. I'll add it to this layout. Oh wait, no, I don't want Kraken. Yeah, I don't want Kraken. I don't know why the Kraken one was the first one to come up. This is looking a little cleaner than Bitcoin on the daily chart, actually. That actually looks a lot better than Bitcoin does. At least it was coming down here for tests. These are lines that I would be bidding here. That's a solid level of support. Spot buys would be the 100, 200 EMA, the cloud support. But all in all, that doesn't look too bad. You are seeing a little bit of exaggerated divergence. Stupid magnet. You're seeing a little bit of exaggerated divergence up here. Price getting higher, but the RSI isn't. So that's something to keep an eye on. But I think that's pretty much just this retrace right here that just happened. It could go lower, and like retest these levels. But, I would just keep an eye on it. That would be a spot buy. This would be a spot buy. Nothing says that it wouldn't be a decent long, but you're longing into a lot of resistance up here on these smaller time frames. The 15-minute does look okay, though. If anything, I would be trying to be waiting for some kind of a retest down here. I want to long the top of the cloud and the top of the 200 EMA. That's where I would be looking on that. BNB, I will take a look at that real quick. BNB is looking similar, and this is resting on the top of the cloud. Dangerous place to be, but very high R to R. If you get a solid bounce here, I would be looking for this as a target. If we got a bounce from here, so this is a really good zone to be. It looks kind of like just this whole thing just kind of looks sideways, like reaccumulation. Again, like I said, reaccumulation. These are the areas that in general you want to be buying. The more the Bitcoin goes down, yes, it's going to drag alts with it. But as Bitcoin levels off and finds bottoms and stuff like that, alts tend to go up. So, when Bitcoin tanks really hard, it's going to take alts with it right then. But, give it time, let it level off or whatever. And normally it's okay. I want to take a look at Matic too. Matic's not looking that great. Matic is double topping here, and pretty significant bearish divergence coming all the way up here, and now we're getting a double top here. So Matic is not not looking good. Again, same thing, you know, like looking for supports and resistance. That's why I like using Ichimoku Cloud, you know, without having to draw any supports and resistances. I already have them here. You know, like this is a really good area. 50 EMA and Kijinsen line right up, right above the top of the cloud here, for, you know, laddering longs, boom, 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 you know, and maybe a support. Oops, that was a terrible line. And maybe a support level in here, you know, for longs or whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4 ladders. Stop is inside the cloud. Not too bad. That's a 15-minute chart too, guys. So, you know, it's not, you know, 4-hour chart again. You know, you always have to take these higher time frames into consideration. So if you want to trade a 15-minute chart, you're probably looking at the, you know, the 1 hour. And you've got some bearish divergence forming, possibly. Again, that double top. Okay. So don't be longing into, you know, into resistance. But at the end of the day, it's a bull market, up only, all of that good stuff. I definitely think that this has room to run, though. Like if it breaks through here on a daily chart, let me get rid of all this. Shit. What fucking coin was I even looking at? My fucking high ass. There we go. Man, I really just feel like this BNB token is just, I feel like it's so overvalued. I think this is probably going to end poorly for BNB. I think when this retraces, it's going to be very, very severe. That does not look particularly healthy to me in terms of price action. That's just like all of this was flat in here basically, but wow. Come down to a daily chart. Yeah, I mean, this just went straight up. Jesus, from $42. I used to hold a whole bunch of BNB and I sold it long before this bull run started, and I'm kind of upset about it. I'm kind of salty. If BNB crashes, would it influence all coins on the BSC? Yeah, probably. You know, anything that's it's just like why Bitcoin. Okay, look, this is, I didn't realize this was going to be such a big question. That's why there's pairings, right? Okay, you've got stuff paired with the USD, right? Okay, same deal with this. If you've got Bitcoin paired with alts, okay, those are going to go down when Bitcoin goes down because those are paired with Bitcoin. Okay, if you have anything paired with BNB or any of that stuff, sorry, when if BNB crashes, okay, yeah, it's going to take those pairings down with it. And it will affect the, you know, whatever it's paired with, that token, it's going to affect that token as a whole. So it will affect that over the other pairings, but on the other pairings, it wouldn't be as severe as the ones directly paired with BNB. I hope that kind of explains that for you. If BNB, where are you looking? Where am I looking at these charts? I'm looking at TradingView. Yeah. So, let's see. BTC pumping a little bit on the 15-minute chart. Is it though? Is it? Kind of. Not really. I'm still like, I'm not interested in anything. I'm really not interested in buying Bitcoin if it doesn't reclaim the bottom of this trend line. I'm not interested in buying anything until way further down. For real. Like, especially like I'm talking like spot bids and stuff and like long-term swing positions. I wouldn't be interested in any of this unless this breaks back through this bottom trend line on the daily chart. This 4-hour chart is, everybody was saying, including myself, I said, hey, this could just be a throw over, you know, and sure enough, you know, maybe we get a throw over. Okay. If we see this happen and we get bullish volume and we see this happen, I promise you I'll be shorting here. Okay. I promise you I'll be shorting. I'm not going to be longing this anymore. I'm looking for spot bids. I'm looking for more downside. Unless this goes through, it starts breaking through all-time high again, or we see a lot of bullish momentum and a huge recovery from this, I'm not really interested. If we break down and we reject, from the top of this, this was just a fake out before it tanks. I'll be looking for spot bids here and here. Okay. X marks the spot, basically. Would the whales allow a further dump? Of course they would. There's no supply. If they dump on the exchanges, they're profit taking. Of course the whales are going to take profit. What do you think? Would it be just to scare retail? No, it's so that they can make money. Absolutely. Like they don't give a shit about if retail they don't care if you, me, and other people trading that. They don't care if we get washed out. They don't give a shit. Trust me, they don't care. Oh, and if you hear any FUD, this was one thing. All of this FUD, okay, that I've been hearing about, the institutions are going to take profits. No, they're not. Okay. The institutions aren't going to be fucking selling. Hedge funds might, but Elon Musk, I promise you, no interest in selling his Bitcoin. Okay. Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy, no interest in selling his Bitcoin. Okay. I guarantee you they do have interest in buying more, but I promise you that if they're hedging company assets against Bitcoin, they probably have no desire to be its company assets. They have no desire to be dumping their company assets. Okay, back onto the market. I don't see that happening. Retail could provide more upside. That's absolutely correct. It's going to take a lot of it though, because a lot of the retail that you have coming into the market right now is all derivatives volume. Okay. Derivatives volume is not the kind of volume that you want to see. You want to see, actual spot volume, and 90% of the volume that we have it's all derivatives volume, which isn't good. The most important things right now that I can say, guys, is we're going to have to take a look real closely at volume. And, with generally low volume in the market all through this chop and, this low volume kind of recovery that we're having into this pennant. I'm not even on my chart. Whoops. We really, really need to focus on the volume for all of this, because, when we're looking at all of this, right? Let me make this smaller and bring this up. Okay. Let's get these up side by side. Okay. So this is another thing that I encourage you to do. I'm going to go to the daily chart for this. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually mark these on my chart here. So let's go to grayscale. Come on. It's like the website froze or the link wasn't working from that page. Okay. I'm going to go through. I'm going to mark these dates, especially the ones that have the huge ones on it. So 425. Let's bring up some horizontal lines here, right? Some vertical lines. And we're going to make these blue. Okay, so this one is bar. What is this one? 4.5, 425. Okay, we've got one there. 428. These are all really close together. This is not those supply releases are not. They could be coming at a better time. I wouldn't be lying on that. 5.5. Mm. 5.4, 5.12. There's a lot of them in here, and they're all pretty large. This is going to be a rough spot here for Bitcoin with these supply releases. I'm not trying to be like a negative Nancy or whatever, but I am kind of concerned about that because a lot of these dumps have been lining up very good with the grayscale ETFs and, the trust releases and stuff like that. So I'm going to start marking these on my chart. I think you should do the same, just kind of like a little experiment, just kind of something to watch out for, be careful of, and take note of. These things are important. Fundamentals definitely affect Bitcoin. Okay, it's not just whales anymore. Bitcoin is an asset. It's $2 trillion market cap now. These are really big deal things for Bitcoin. Institutions coming in, all of these fundamental things that are going into Bitcoin now. Big corporations hedging their funds against it, big international corporations starting to, offer it, Visa and, like MasterCard. And, these are all really big things. And all of those things do play a very big part into Bitcoin's price action. Just like the US dollar is affected by news and interest rates and all of that stuff here, it's going to be the same thing with Bitcoin. It's going to be affected by major events and stuff like that. What's this thing you're doing right now? I was marking these lines are the grayscale trust releases when there's large amounts of Bitcoin getting released to clients. So I marked those on the chart. Can you recommend some indicator to keep an eye on only volume? I would take a look at either the on balance volume or use the Wada Atar. This is what I use. Are you waiting to see what Bitcoin does until you buy more alts for now then? Most of the alts that I have, I am holding. I haven't really touched too many of them. Most of the alts that I buy, alts for me, I try to, I don't trade alts, and you guys know this. I invest in altcoins, right? I invest those. Like those are all like long-term holds for me. Like I'm personally not interested in buying any alts. Now, maybe trading some of them, get on Dogecoin just for fun as a meme or, just make some quick profits off of some of these or whatever and be scalping them and like short-term positions. That's totally fine. But in general, most of the coins are garbage. Most of them are total shit. And most of the companies are going to fail. 85% of new businesses fail. You should see how much is not here to be able to be traded, from like 2016 and 17. Okay. I wait for market crashes. I wait for ultimate max pain. Everyone's selling the bottom. Everyone's capitulating. Minor capitulation is just all doom and gloom. The news is calling it a bubble. We've seen a crazy 70% or 60% retracement. It's wiped everybody out of the market. Everyone went broke. Everybody that was trading meme coins is busted. They're all wrecked. I wait for that max pain scenario. And while all that pain is happening, that's when I start doing research on newer companies and stuff like that. And once the market bottoms out over a long time frame, I'm talking like the span of a year or 8 months or whatever. And that's when I start heavily accumulating those. I'm one of those guys that just waits. Okay. I do it boomer style. I don't really trade alts that much. There's plenty of other people that trade alts. I will give you analysis on them. But unless I'm just looking for a quick flip or a quick profit or whatever, I don't really trade them very, very often. I buy them and I invest in them because you have to remember all of this is emerging technology. So a lot of these, a lot of these things, not a lot of them, but some of them are, they're going to turn into the next Microsoft, Amazon, Google, big companies. There's a very bright future for blockchain technology and for this space and for this technology. As much as I am a trader, when I invest in altcoins, I'm in it for the tech. Okay. That's my in it for the tech side. Because I do invest in a lot of them. I mean, I'm still holding Link from back in 2018. I've got a crap ton of it. I never trade it though, because it's just a hold. It's accrued in so much value. I'm never going to sell that stuff. Like, I'm one of those wallets that holds Link that I'm never going to sell that shit. I'm holding on to it forever. Again, I wish I wouldn't have sold my BNB bag, but whatever. I'm still salty about that. Again, crucial spot to be looking at for Bitcoin. This is going to be smaller time frame analysis while we're down at these crucial sections for the next couple days, probably until the end of the week. I will do a 90-second analysis update tomorrow for Friday before the end of the week. And we're just going to have to keep a really close eye, coming up here. I guess this is 424, right? It did say 424, right? I don't know where that, I think I closed the thing out, but 424. Okay. So like Saturday, like this weekend, we need to be watching very, very closely what's going to happen, with those Grayscale trust releases and stuff like that. We're going to have to see what kind of effect that has on volume. If somebody takes profits on that, is it just like a quick one-off wick that, is going to wick people out and snag liquidity? Or is it going to turn the whole market bearish? We're going to have to keep a really close eye on that stuff. Volume right now is of great importance. Once I started introducing volume analysis into everything else that I look at on the charts, it's helped me out a lot, by the way. I should probably start making tutorial videos on analysis. Actually, let me know down in the comments below or in the chat. If you guys, for next week, I'll do a tutorial video. If you guys want like a volume analysis tutorial, I can absolutely do that. Of right now, I think that would be of great importance. It'd probably be helpful for a lot of people. Shorts are stacked here on Binance. I would love to see if we start seeing the price climb to like 56. I think we could see a rocket, like up to like 57K. So keep that in mind. But again, 57K, in that area, we're only just tapping this area in here. Okay. Major resistance again. Okay. So that would be ideal, is seeing something like this. Okay. That would be ideal. But if we don't, certainly from this consolidation that we're in right now, these are our immediate levels that we need to be watching out for. Like, we have to see a close above here. Okay. We have to see, after that, we have to see a close above here. After that, we have to see a close above here. We need to start reclaiming these levels, and we need to start making higher highs off this. Otherwise, I think that, it might be just bear time, and we're just going to have to start adjusting our biases. There's another trend line here. Again, like just lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. These are things that we have to watch. I think closing above this trend line, that would be a good start. Break through this, retest it, break through this high. We're going to have to be watching this extremely closely, but so I'll do another poll or whatever in the Telegram group. I hope that you guys enjoy the analysis. I got to quite a few tokens and coins and stuff for you guys today. I'm not really taking positions on this, even on this 15-minute chart, like this would have been a good short up here, potentially. Really strong candles, really strong resistance up here. It's looking weak, this 200 EMA, it's looking weak, just decreasing volume, like every single time we start reclaiming some of these levels, just the volume dies off. Same thing happened here, like we got increasing volume and they couldn't follow through, and it just collapsed. Dead cat bounce and a collapse, dead cat bounce and a collapse. This was more volume, but now the retrace was good, and we held the 50 EMA here. But again, like right here, no follow through yet on this. No follow through. Need to hold above this 15-minute 200 EMA if we want to have a prayer. Talking about investment, maybe you can look at REQ, and do you have volume analysis would be good. Sorry for the delay. Hey man, you're good. My video is delayed too. Volume tutorial would be amazing. Okay, yeah. So it sounds like most of you guys want to see that. I'll go ahead and do that for you guys. That'll be like a next week video. I'm not going to be able to pump out a second video this week. It's too late in the week now. So right now, in terms of trading this, I will probably, if I do trade this, I'm going to be trading it on small timeframes with low leverage, especially if I'm trying to get into a long position. And besides that, I'm mostly going to be looking at, is this the kind of thing where if we close back below here, am I going to have to move more of my assets into cash? Am I taking cash that I have set aside? Am I going to start laddering in spot, like big spot bids, like $1,000 every $1,000 level, that it goes down? That might be another good idea, 53,000, 52,000, 51,000, and just buy $1,000 or $2,000, at each level. That is really what I'm looking at now. Rejecting here, we're in a really tight range between the 50 EMA and the Kijinsen line. I really do think that if this Kijinsen line doesn't hold here, and we can't really start making a push up to do an end to end on the cloud and really make a strong push here, we're probably going to see another rejection. Like if the volume is weak, I would expect a rejection here from the 100 EMA and the bottom of the cloud. I'm already expecting a rejection here, right? But at this point, we have to close above the 50 EMA. That's our very first step. So let's take it baby steps first. Let's close above the 50 EMA, test the 100, maybe break through it, and then we can think about, okay, what's going to happen if we break above this pennant? But for right now, it's not looking too great in terms of volume. I'm just really not convinced on these moves here. This can help us, but this can only help us out so much. You know what I mean? These liquidations, shorts have to buy when they close. So Bayak, no, I will not be doing tutorials live. There's too much that can go wrong. Too much that can go wrong. But I will do a video on it. I'll do that next week for you guys. I really need to start getting back in the groove. Lately, the last couple of weeks, I've been very busy with clients. I've also been struggling with depression. That's been hitting me kind of hard this week. So I got to get my shit together. Because I want to do these live streams on a fairly regular basis, like at least once a week, like do a live stream on Tuesday or Thursday, or, do a video Tuesday, do a live stream Thursday, or maybe Fridays or whatever, and just kind of come up with something for that. So we'll see. I'm not going to be doing these things forever. Eventually, this will probably be something that's included with a membership to my website or something like that. Especially for like specific alt requests and things like that, like more in-depth analysis on things. But I will be doing obviously like Bitcoin analysis, Ethereum, and stuff like that. That'll always be, a normal thing. I can't believe that this ended up breaking up. This was a meme chart that I made, and the shit ended up being right. I can't believe that. That's so crazy. Huge bearish, formation here, and it just completely broke out of it. This is what we need to see Bitcoin do. Okay. This is what we need Bitcoin to do. But anyway, wow, it's been almost an hour and a half. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream off. Again, thank you everybody for coming. All you guys that are tuning in, whether it's from Elevate Trading or, any of the other Discords or whatever that I'm in, Flying Cat, Telegram, Twitter, all you guys, anybody that randomly found me on YouTube, I highly suggest smashing that like and subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on any of the content, tutorials, or anything else that I do here on the channel. Hopefully I can get a schedule like down so that I'm doing streams and stuff like this on a regular basis for you guys. But yeah, besides that, that's really all I have for you guys today. I'm really excited with all of the stuff that I'm going to be doing with my own platform coming out here in the next month or two. So for those of you still sticking around, I'll just type W or type a Y in the chat if you guys want to hear me talk about this stuff real quick. I probably will anyway, but I wanted to go ahead and just explain real quickly what I have going on with my own website and stuff like that, the platform that I'm trying to make. I keep getting questions about this a lot is, oh, Kobra, are you going to do a, like a paid group or whatever? We'd like to have one more one-on-one time with you. I just don't have the time for it. To be completely honest with you, I just don't have the time for that. Plus the whole stigma around paid groups and stuff, it's just kind of like such a niche thing now that I'm really not trying to get into that. It's really cliche, I feel. So the Telegram that I have, most of you guys are probably already in there. If you're not, link is in the description. That's basically like my personal, I use a separate portfolio, right? And that's like my trading journal. Like my Telegram is like the written trading journal for the public portfolio that I use for education. And it's like beer money for me, right? Like not a huge portfolio. I think it's like $3,000 or $4,000. It's nothing crazy. And what I want to do is I'm building my website. And obviously I've mentioned before, the first thing that I'm going to release is I'm going to do a newsletter, and it's not any newsletter, right? Most newsletters are going to be analysis on Bitcoin. Obviously, it's going to have that in it. I'm also going to be having more fundamental stuff in there than I think any of the other newsletters that I've seen people write. And I'm not knocking their products or whatever, but that's something that I'm also going to be focusing on. As a professional trader, I understand the value of, not just using one form of analysis over another one. You have to use both, okay, to get the full picture of what's going on. So that's one feature that's going to be in the newsletter. The other thing that I'm really excited about is if the markets are flipping over, obviously that would be the prime time for this too, is I'm going to start going through and vetting a lot of these projects. So a lot of these projects that you guys are mentioning to me that I've never fucking heard of, and projects that I think are going to have a future in the space. Those are the ones that I'm going to vet myself. I'm going to be reading the white papers, doing all of my research, looking at the dev team, finding out if they're real. Are they active on GitHub? Do they give a shit about the price of their token? Do they have a footprint of all of the dates and stuff for releases? Are they staying on top of those? Do they have active Medium accounts? Are there good followers on, their social medias and stuff like that? Those are all things that I look at. And what I'm going to be doing is doing all of that research. And the newsletter is going to be twice a month. Okay. So it's going to be bi-weekly. And once a month, I'm going to have a whole prospectus of all of that stuff on one or two altcoin picks that whatever I put in that newsletter, those are altcoins that I will personally be investing in. Like those are part of the portfolio. Only people that pay for the newsletter are going to have access to that stuff. I'm not putting it in the Telegram. Okay. I'm not making that stuff public on Twitter, unless I post a chart of it later or something, that's fine. But in terms of the things that I'm investing in long term and those prospectuses and stuff, that's a special thing that I'm going to be releasing for subscribers to the newsletter only. The newsletter is not going to be expensive, but it is going to take a lot of time and effort to be doing all of that research on those things. And if I'm going to be disclosing it to other people, I think it's fair for me to get compensated for the time for that. So that's what I'm really, really excited about. I think that that's going to help a lot of you on your way, especially, throughout the bear market, if the markets flip over and stuff like that. Long term, these are going to be things that are going to be of high value for you, because these are things that you need to be laddering in. You need to be staying on top of the projects, right? You need to be buying and accumulating these things when everybody else is selling and it looks like the world is going to zero. That's when we accumulate. that's when we buy. If you want to create generational wealth for yourself and for your family, you have to be buying when everybody is scared shitless. Everything looks like it's going to go to zero. But while that's happening, before everything bottoms out and it flushes out the market, that is the time for the research. Okay. And that shit is extremely important so that you're not ending up buying meme coins and scams and bullshit. Basically, you don't want to fill your portfolio with could have beens. You want to fill your portfolio with this is a fucking awesome token. This development team is amazing. They've got awesome tech. This shit is going to go to the moon. This is going to be the next Uber of, whatever, like that is very, very important. So I'm extremely excited for that. If you guys know a programmer, I need to work with a programmer that especially is very fluent with PineScript on TradingView. I really want to turn my algorithm that I have into, I need a programmer to turn the rules and stuff that I have for the trading system into its own just buy and sell signal thing. And then that's going to be another thing, like for people that are more interested in scalping on lower timeframes and stuff. I want to have that as like a signal service, like for cheap, nothing crazy, maybe 50 or $100 or something a month, and turn my algorithm into like a paid service that people can use that, or just sell the algorithm itself. I haven't worked out the details on that stuff too much, but I'm going to start developing a platform more because I'm starting to gain a following, and I really like all of you guys. You guys are awesome. I love that everybody is really involved in the education. So I want to start building on that stuff, and maybe start making more in-depth courses and things like that for the website, for like training courses and things like that. These are all things that I really want to do for you guys, and I want to be able to provide that value for you. So that's just a little note on all of the things that I have planned coming up. It's a lot of work. I'm in the process of designing my website on top of designing websites for other people. I do freelance. So I'm basically sitting at this computer all day long. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Again, make sure that you smash the like and subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the stream today. Use the comment field. Let me know what you liked or didn't like down below. And that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the week and the rest of this month in terms of the website. So stay tuned for all that. Obviously, announcements will be made on my Twitter. Make sure you're following me there, as well as the Telegram. That's obviously free. You guys can go ahead and feel free to join that. And with all of that said, I hope you all have a wonderful day and an awesome weekend. Take care until next week. I'm Kobra Trading. Have a good day.